In this video, we're going to be using redstone a little bit more than what I usually do. Usually I just have a button that presses something and then all the command blocks do the rest of the work. But in this video, we're going to be doing a simple redstone machine that takes care of a specific function that is very important.
All right, you want to make a sorting system. It could be pretty much anything. This is more of a filtration system. Like it filters out certain things to make certain actions occur. So I'm using this system to teleport a player into my labyrinth over here. And here is 1/4 of the labyrinth, and then there's 4 more out there. And I would like players to get teleported to a random one. So how do I make that work? Well, it's with this machine, and I'll show you how to build it. First up, we got to make these item filters. I did not create the item filters themselves. My friend had these on a realm once. I just copied from that realm and rebuilt them in here. And I'm sure he looked it up somewhere, but I couldn't find the original tutorial. So if you guys find that, or if I find it, I'll put it in the description, or if one of you finds it, I'll pin your comment. But for now, we got to build one of these, and they come in lines like this. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So I'm going to build the first one here. So let's get ourselves. So we make a hopper facing that way. Then let's get ourselves a barrel there. Put the hopper there, and then you get ourselves a block. Switch there. Then we build this out, and then you make an eye with a little extra bit there, and then we're going to put a redstone repeater here, block. Then we're going to get redstone, put it in 3, add a redstone here, and once that's good, this redstone torch will power this redstone torch and make it turn off. So next, we need ourselves a comparator. Okay, so I see a lot of people get confused as to what the heck the comparator does. The comparator, basically all it does is detect what's behind it and see how many items are inside or how much function is put into it. So like many other blocks have different functions, like the lectern. If you flip enough pages in, it'll add strength to the comparator. But the main thing I use it for, and many people use it for, is just the amount of items that are being put in to a container. But yeah, that is the basic version of that. So now that we have this, we got to connect this to an actual redstone line. So this is, even though it doesn't look connected, this is connected. And then we got to give ourselves whatever function we want. So let's give myself a command block. Now we place it there, and boom. So this is our filter right here. It's all complete. In my systems over here, I'm looking for 4 different items, and mainly I'm trying to get this to detect stuff that comes from this dropper here. This dropper is going to drop items, these different items, and these different items are going to do different functions. If we get the same thing and place it 4 times, we can do it for the 4 different items, these 4 different filters. So we got quartz, emerald, lapis, redstone. Let's fill this hopper with the correct things. So this one will be the redstone hopper. Okay, in the first slot we want to have 4 here, and then we place pretty much all of that there, and it'll filter out until it hits 41. All of this is doing is moving this down into here. So this is being powered here, which powers this, which makes it so this can be locked. But if we, like, let's say I put in the stuff here, this will turn on over here whenever a redstone goes in. So like, let's say I just place one. Boop, there you go, turns on. That's because this detects how much stuff is in here, and then if it gets to be a signal strength 1 higher than it currently is, this redstone torch turns off, which then turns this on, which then turns this on. If you want, you could just have the command block right there. I like having a little bit of redstone space just in case I want to add code to the back or the front. So
That's why I usually have it like that, but really you can just put it here for the function that I'm doing right now, which is just teleporting a player. Now, once we have all 4 built up here, I placed a water bucket down that way, and the water bucket will flow all the way through here. And the idea is when this dropper drops an item, it will go down this line and enter one of the hoppers. So each of these will be a different filter. So we got this one, this is the quartz filter, this is the lapis filter, this is the redstone filter, this is the emerald filter. These are all the same build, just pasted 4 times. I want each of these to teleport me to a different corner of that maze that I showed you earlier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and whenever we go ahead and press this button, teleports. Boom. It's exactly what we wanted. Now, how do we turn this into something that looks a bit more presentable? So I'm going to show you real quick. This is the room in question. This is what it looks like to the player. Now, below us is the machine down here. This is where all the magic happens. But if I fill that up and we don't see it, then this button here warps us in. And there is a redstone block connected to this piston. And what this does is activates these guys. So these are the comparators again. And I know I just said that mainly you're going to be using it for containers. This is an instance where you're not going to be using it for containers. So what is this doing? Well, let's disconnect it from the machine for a second here. And if I activate this, it activates the redstone. And then when I deactivate it, it slowly turns off. So look at that again. It's on. Then it slowly turns off. This is because it's slowly detecting a worse and worse signal strength, which means it's slowly giving out a worse and worse signal strength amongst all of these. So this is detecting that this is at full, and then at 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, and then slowly goes down. And then this detects that this is slowly going down, and then this pushes over here, and then this detects that that is slowing down. And basically, it is a prolonged signal. So if we do that again, it prolongs it. So originally, I had this machine here, and I just had a redstone line like this. So let's remove this. I just had a redstone line, and then what would happen is I'd place that, and then the button would be done, and then it would take a moment for the hopper to shoot an item into here, and then players would get frustrated or players would get a little impatient and then press it again. Here's the problem with that if they press it twice. This is a TP nearest player command. So if it TPs the nearest player, but this player gets teleported and he pressed it twice, that means the next nearest player is going to get warped into the maze as well, regardless of if they are close to this location or not. Could be a player that's completely in just a different part of the world. Could be a player that's in a different part of the maze. And we don't want that. So I made this here to slow down that signal so that it can wait for this item to go down the waterway without worrying about it taking too long. As you can see, it takes a little bit. So it's pretty quick at the beginning and then it slows down. And items can get caught here. And that it usually isn't a problem, but it can happen before it reaches the end. So this roof is placed here so it doesn't bob up and down as much. And also this prolonged activation should make sure everything runs smoothly. To add a little bonus to this video, I'm going to show you another part of that dungeon that I showed you, the labyrinth. So the idea is the labyrinth is underneath the bedrock, and we got this room down here. And if I remove my night vision, you can see, well, you can't really see. It's really hard to see what's down there. So you just see darkness, blackness. Let's say I had like a torch. I wouldn't be able to place torches around here because I've denied blocked most of this area, but like the closest torch I can get is like here. And this is all I can see. It's just a hole to nothingness.
And the idea is a player would jump down into the void, and then, boom, I'm in the chamber. So, how did I pull that off? Well, I'm going to show you real quick. So, this is how it works. We got a bedrock here, and then this is black concrete. It's the darkest block in the game, so it looks like there's nothing down here. And the main thing I want for this is that you jump in, and then when you get down here, you get teleported, and all of your items get deleted, so that no one has items inside of the maze. That's part of the dungeon's design. So when you fall down here, there's actually down here a deny block, so people can't break these concrete blocks. But if we go this way, here is a repeating command. And this repeating command is connected to this chain command. So repeating command will test for a specific player, not a specific player, like just a player, an indescript player within a radius of 10 blocks. That's all that does. So when I become within 10 blocks of that block, it'll teleport me. This should make it so I don't fall and like hit the ground and take fall damage. And this will teleport me to a specific place. Now, this actually doesn't teleport me to the maze, because how I have the maze set up is there's a chamber for each player specifically. And I don't want all of the players to end up in the same spot. I want them to end up in different spots. So I'm going to show you how I pull that off. It was quite hard to see in the video because it was so dark, but I actually was not sent to a place at all. Like, I wasn't sent to that chamber immediately. I was sent here. So what is this machine? Well, I'll show you. So this detects that there's a player nearby again. So this spot, and then this will place a redstone block here. And then this removes that redstone block. And as you can see, the delay is that many ticks, and then the delay is this many ticks, so this one is less frequent. So this will repeatedly place so that multiple people can go through. This also clears the player's inventory instantly. So this is the main thing that deletes all the player's items. And then all of these commands. What do all these commands do? Well, funny you should ask. This will test for a player with the tag maze20 in a radius of 35 blocks. So this is actually the thing that teleports them to specific locations. So this will detect maze 19, maze 18, and all the way down to 1, so it's 1 to 20. It'll test for 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, etc., etc. And it'll test if that player's here that I tagged. And the tag command, it's simply you do tag the player's name, so Dark Knight 522 is me, and then I'll just say Bob. So now I have a tag that is Bob. So if I did tag Dark Knight remove, it says the only thing I have is Bob, and then I can remove it. So the game detects if I have maze 10, and then if I do have maze 10, it'll teleport maze 10 to the 10th chamber, or maze 9 to the 9th chamber, or maze 8 to the 8th chamber, etc., etc. Over here is the 20 chambers, so they're all the way down to there. This ensures that each player has a different chamber, and the idea is that because each player has a different chamber, they are able to have their own storage for the dungeon that's outside of the overworld, and it must stay in here, and it has different player chambers so that it's not like a big community like collection thing. So that is how the chambers work, connected to these sorting systems. The main thing I wanted you to take away from this video is this sorter here, but if that ends up helping, this chamber system ends up helping someone, then I'll be satisfied. Let me know if that helped you. But, that's all the time I've got for today, so I'm gonna head on out. Thanks for watching.